Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Ivan Holloway, the Executive Director of Urban Impact. And our work evolves around building people, place, and business in Birmingham. I know that's a mouthful, but it's what we believe that we do. This is a very important day, and I want to just thank you for being here with us today to talk a little bit about our work and what we believe that we've accomplished over the year. Not only what we accomplished, but our vision for moving forward. I would like to formally thank a couple of our partners, Alabama Power, PNC Bank, the Community Foundation of Greater Birmingham, and of course the City of Birmingham, who has supported us during our pivot. And some of you may not understand what that pivot is, but we'll talk a little bit about that today. For the next hour, my team and I, along with a few friends, and we'll share with you what we believe is an organizational vision about 4th Avenue, around the Civil Rights District, and a collaborative vision for the broader district. But before I do that, I want to introduce our dear counselor, Darrell Quinn, who is our district representative, and personally, I believe that he is a visionary. So I want to invite Councilor Quinn.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here today. As Ivan stated, my name is Darrell Quinn. I have the honor of being the District 5 representative for the City Council here in Birmingham. With so many redevelopment efforts happening throughout my district and across Birmingham, I feel very fortunate to both witness and play a part in a transformational chapter of revitalization and growth in our city's history. Both the Civil Rights District and the Innovation District are crucial elements that make up the core of our downtown's northwest quadrant. The Civil Rights District serves as a reminder of our city's historic past and is home to one of the largest commercial districts of African American owned businesses in the country. The Innovation District has quickly become an emerging tech hub for our city's booming roster of startups and entrepreneurs. Urban Impact and Rev Birmingham are organizations driving economic development and community revitalization across both of these districts, and have now joined forces to ensure they grow together and create a vibrant future for this unique quadrant of downtown Birmingham. Forging these types of community partnerships will continue to help us move forward, both as a district and our city as a whole. And now I'd like to pass it back to Mr. Holloway.
Thank you so much, Councilor Quinn. Urban Impact was established in 1980 by former Mayor Richard Arrington Jr., Councilman Eddie Blankenship, and of course, Ms. Odessa Wolfer, and a few area business persons. And we're excited to have a chairman that is a legacy chairman that is related to Dr. Eddie Blankenship. And so I'm going to invite up my chairperson for the Board of Directors of Urban Impact, Mr. Lucian Blankenship.
It's actually an honor to kind of stand in the shoes of my uncle, Dr. Eddie Blankenship, who served as president of the Birmingham City Council and was one of the co-founders of Urban Impact. Actually, when I first took on the initiative to accept the chairmanship, I didn't even think about the fact that my uncle was one of the founders. I was actually reading through some of the documents, like, hey, that's my uncle. And then I started to think back over the times that I would be sitting in the living room and I'd be there sitting at the foot of Dr. Blankenship and Dr. Arrington. And as they were envisioning things that were going to happen in the 4th Avenue Business District, I remember when they even first opened the first office, I was a little one, so I just kind of grew up around what was happening in Birmingham during that time as they were thinking about this organization and what its role would be in the city of Birmingham. So Urban Impact is an amazing organization that's playing a pivotal role in the transformation of the historic 4th Avenue Business District and the National Monument area, as well as this part of the city of Birmingham. Urban Impact is a 501c3, local, place-based community economic development agency that addresses asset building, economic opportunity, and revitalization of the historic 4th Avenue Business District and the Civil Rights District through support and services to assist individuals, businesses, and developers. We strive to lead, build, and grow traditionally underserved and historic African American commercial districts and communities. We create economic, and I don't have my glasses by the way, we create economic opportunity and impact people, place, and businesses. What are you seeing and hearing today is a new Urban Impact, and it's an amazing and exciting time in the life of Urban Impact and to be a part of what they're doing. Our mission is to develop, implement, and drive creative community-based strategies and programs that enhance economic opportunities, builds inclusive and equitable ecosystems, facilitates historic preservation, and ensures a dynamic, impactful framework for sustainable growth and development. As we open a new chapter of the organization and head to our 40th anniversary, it's our desire that the next 40 years of work be filled with bold, innovative, trailblazing, equitable initiatives that will leave a monumental imprint for future generations. I would like to thank our partners, Rail Birmingham, for their vision and leadership for vibrant and better Birmingham. This that I'm seeing today and all the plans that I've been hearing lately from the city of Birmingham, Rail Birmingham, the master planning, these are the things that my uncle, Dr. Eddie Blankenship, and Mayor Richard Arrington envisioned. And it is truly a joy to serve as chairman and to work with this organization, all of you in this room, to see that dream come true. And that's something that I hope to be able to share with my son and my family, that this is something that was started, and it's truly a great day in the city of Birmingham and in my family. Thank you, and I'm going to ask you for all your time.
So I was watching a movie the other day, and at the end of the movie, the young woman said Providence, and she repeated it 3 times. And by the time the co-actor left, he understood what Providence was really all about. He didn't realize that his uncle was chairman, but I did. And so when I asked him to serve, he did not hesitate. You know, when I arrived at Urban Impact in January of 2016, I found what I believe was a potentially dynamic organization, but for some reason it was, in my opinion, working well below its potential. It was out of touch, they were working alone, they were not aligned with today's tactical urbanism practices, similar to that we see that their peer organizations are doing across the country. To that end, I set out to transform the agency, and I embarked upon a change for the organization, a rebranding, a relocation of our offices, and enhancing our talent, as well as reimagining the work that we do as an agency. One of the things that I did when I looked at talent was I didn't want to find people who were like me, but people who were smarter than me. And one of the first persons that I brought on to be with me in Carla Youngblood was Mr. Darrell Washington. So Mr. Darrell Washington serves as our Director of Operations and Programs, so I'm going to ask Darrell to come up for a few minutes.
Did he say smarter than good evening, my name is Darrell Washington. I proudly serve as Director of Programs for Urban Impact. And our programs, our collaboratives, and our initiatives are how we make impact. So let me just take you on a brief journey. Back in April 2017, we set out to learn more about the district, learn more about our community stakeholders, and learn more about how we could actually make more impact in Birmingham, especially in the historic 4th Avenue Business District. Data is critical to our organizational success. So we sought to become market leaders, and market intelligence was one of the ways we sought to do that. We also did a lot of listening. Too often in the planning process, there's not authentic listening. There's listening impartiality. Oftentimes a consultant may come and hold a couple of community engagement events, but they're really looking for cues to qualify what they already believe. We did a lot of silent listening, and let me tell you how we did that. We did it through one-on-one meetings with our community stakeholders. We had and held several community charrettes and community engagement events. And we just answered the phone. We listened to the vision that our community stakeholders had for the district, as well as what our supporters and our partners shared. And as a result of this, we achieved three major programmatic goals last year. I think the first was in June of 2019, we became the first African-American business district to become a designated community of Main Street. And that was a monumental task because it really validated all of the research we did, all of the collaboratives and all of the partnerships that we embarked upon. And almost simultaneous to that, we became the first Kiva trustee. Kiva is an international platform, a crowdfunding platform that allows us now to provide micro-lending to some of our small businesses, minority and women businesses. And after becoming a Kiva trustee, within probably 2 months, we successfully negotiated funding for 2 small minority businesses. Also, we became a part of the Start Spark network. We honestly feel that the iteration of entrepreneurship is the pathway to low to moderate income individuals. And so what Start Spark will do will allow us to have a training platform for minority and women businesses. And thanks to funding from Wells Fargo and Alabama Power, we will be rolling that platform out the 1st of January. But again, all of this is possible because of collaboratives and because we did a simple thing, listen. Listen and the word silent both have the same letters, but too oftentimes people don't do both at the same time. We silently listen to our community stakeholders, to our partners, and as a result, we think we're on a track that's going to be very positive. So with that, I would now invite you to listen to my colleague. He is the smartest person in the office. Elijah Davis, our strategic growth manager. He's going to address some of our initiatives.
Thank you all so much. How's everyone doing this evening? Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. And I am not the smartest person. I think it's the collective, but I guess we'll keep that tradition going. I'm so excited and have a pleasure to serve in terms of being an active participant in such an important legacy in the history of the city, region, and in the nation. When you really think about the district, the future is absolutely bright. The future is extremely bright for the district and its surrounding communities. As many of you know, the Carver Theater, which houses the Alabama Jazz Hall of Fame, will begin its long-awaited $4.5 million renovations in late fall of the coming year, we believe. And we expect the Masonic Temple will undergo a $29 million historic restoration construction project in early 2020. We are currently exploring new concepts and ideas to enhance the district's cultural identity and to add to the tourism experience of Birmingham, such as our Market on 4th, which features an emphasis on Black farmers and vendors for the region. We created a separate 501c3 called the Taste of 4th Avenue, Inc. to begin year-round programming, annually culminating in the Taste Festival. And we're pursuing a thematic overlay, Freedom Walk, a series of district activities and outdoor displays along the 16th Street corridor from the proposed City Walk to Railroad Park, intersecting at 4th Avenue and the proposed 4th Avenue Back Alley Entertainment District and redesigned 4th Avenue Business Corridor, a series of activated spaces in the rear of existing and soon-to-be newly constructed buildings along 4th Avenue for dining, outdoor, dancing, and entertainment. One of the things that's critical to the concept of Freedom Walk is this notion of a living legacy. A living legacy that holds the first African American and second African American architect, black architect in the nation, Robert Robinson Taylor. A legacy that has legacy families like the Etheridges, the Hamiltons who are here with us. A legacy that is really completely unrivaled in the nation of African American resiliency, culture, and commerce. And we believe that the time is now, looking at a generation forward from Urban Impact, to not only think about that legacy, to perpetuate that legacy. In order to perpetuate that legacy, we must continue to plan, we must continue to participate, and we must continue to have vision. And with that vision, I invite our executive director, Mr. Ivan Hall.
Thank you, Elijah. This is an exciting time for me. I am extremely excited, and you know, I'm a church guy, and sometimes I get excited, and sometimes when I get too excited, I can't get my words out, so please bear with me. We're in what's called the Fountain Heights neighborhood. I know many of you did not realize that, but this is a part of a neighborhood. Fountain Heights. And in Fountain Heights, there are some disparities and several challenges. So what we have looked at is the Northwest Quadrant. And the Northwest Quadrant is an area that I hope to describe to you, but it is a portion of downtown Birmingham that houses both Fountain Heights and where we are today. This quadrant is home to several districts. It's, you heard Darrell talk about the 4th Avenue Business District, it's the Civil Rights District, it's the National Monument, and it's also home to one of our major partners and employees in the area, Alabama Power. We have the Social Security Administration in the area, but what we also have is a number of vacant and underutilized spaces. Those vacant and underutilized spaces sometimes create other urban challenges, but at the same time they create, guess what, opportunities. So we're really here to talk about opportunities. Guess what? This district is also important because it is linked to our surrounding neighborhoods. Our neighborhoods such as Smithfield, I already talked about Fountain Heights. Those areas have not been a part of the growth that we see happening in Birmingham, and we're all excited about the growth of Birmingham. I know I am. I've been downtown a long time, and it hadn't always been like this. So I'm excited, but I'm more excited about my role with Urban Impact and what I believe we can do and how I think we can change things. These historic neighborhoods have been physically separated from the city center by interstate highway infrastructure in order to advance the revitalization and redevelopment of those areas. We believe that a focus on the Northwest Quadrant with intentional connectivity to our neighborhoods through a master development plan for the Civil Rights District and the Innovation District is needed to empower not only Urban Impact and Rev Birmingham, but other community-based organizations who are doing work to revision and reimagine the city of Birmingham. We have defined the boundaries of the focus area to be I-65 on the west, I-2059 on the north, 18th Street on the east, and the railroad to the south. So, the question is, what should be the future of this area? What should be reflected and protected in the built environment as we rise to the challenge of equity, inclusive development, and expanded vibrancy in the city center? Now, I don't know about you, but when I think about that, I get extremely excited because guess what? If you look around the room and you see the diversity, you look around the room, I'm not the only one smiling. I think some of you are smiling as well. I think this is an opportunity to truly show who Birmingham is and what Birmingham should be. So, to answer those questions, and many others that you may have, one of the things that we're here to do today is to announce our collaboration with Rev Birmingham, who is led by Mr. David Fleming. What we're doing together is issuing a request for proposals to solicit proposals for the creation of a master development plan for the Northwest Quadrant, with special emphasis on the civil rights and innovation districts. It is our belief that the strong civil rights and innovation districts will bring about the kind of revitalization and redevelopment across other underserved areas, because we have now strengthened an underserved area in downtown Birmingham. Building on the high-level planning that was recently completed by the City of Birmingham through their master plan, their City Center Master Plan, and other market assessment, the Master Development Plan for the Civil Rights District and the Innovation District will be designed to create consistency around specific development opportunities and a revitalization consistent with the city's goals for inclusive growth and innovation, with actionable strategies supported by market data. The plan will provide us with concepts for development opportunities, locations for appropriate uses, public and private investment opportunities, economic and physical connections to adjacent neighborhoods. Copies of the RFP are now available for dissemination, and they can be found on our website as well as the Rev Birmingham website. But more importantly, it has its own website. And it is, for those of you who want to write it down now, it is www.northwestdowntownbham.com. This is, for me, something that I've been trying to make sure that we were able to do, was to engage not only at a high level, but to engage everyday people around a vision that leads to a strategy, that leads to the kind of investment that we want to see. Not investment from people you don't know, but people who are part of your community. People who are here right now. We share a common bond, we share a common dream, I believe we share a common vision. And that's what I want to see happen through this process. So, with that being said, I talked a little bit about our partner, Rev Birmingham, which is led by Mr. David Fleming. I can't say enough about David, who has been encouraging me throughout this process, and I will tell you, there were about 5 people that I met with when I returned back to Birmingham to take on the role of Executive Director of Urban Impact. And one of those persons was David, and he invited me and took me in and made me a friend. So with that being said, David Fleming.
Ivan and Nushin, thank you so much for letting me be a small part of your program today. And first of all, I want to congratulate you on a lot of significant work this past year and the previous years, really doing everything you described, building a strong organization and with the ability to carry out some strong plans. And I think it does not need to be missed that earning this past year Main Street designation is a big deal. That's a very rigorous process. In fact, Mary Helmer is still here from Main Street, Alabama. You don't just call up one day and say, hey, I want to be a Main Street program, and they give it to you. You know, this is a process that requires you to show you have a commitment to a strategy and goals that are comprehensive for revitalization and the capacity to do it. And so congratulations as Ivan has said, we have an opportunity to do something very collaborative, and I look forward to building this partnership with Urban Impact because our city really has so much potential, and we're only going to do it as we do it together, and as we build partnerships that allow for everyone to grow within it. Ultimately, as we've said, we've done a great job with a lot of things in Birmingham over the years, but unfortunately, one of the not so great things we've done is draw lines over our history and say, on this side of the line is for certain people, and on this other side of the line is for others. And ultimately, what we are seeing is an opportunity to build something together where we're sort of crossing lines and saying, hey, how do we grow together? This downtown Northwest area is an area, as Ivan has said, that includes two very important districts with distinct personalities, distinct stakeholders, and distinct opportunities, but will ultimately thrive better together and seeing how we can grow along the same lines together. As far as Rev is sort of tasked with really helping to drive the Innovation District's growth, along with the Civil Rights District, the Innovation District that sparks and supports more tech entrepreneurship is one of these areas that needs to have intentional effort, and the City Center Master Plan calls out. Growing the economy based on innovation and startups requires an environment that values diversity, values inclusion and equity, and we are certainly committed to that growth, not only for the Innovation District, but how that can help grow the Civil Rights District as well, because each district growth should be complementary of each other. More specifically, and some of us have been around a while, and I hate to say that I'm one of those, but it was a long time ago that the city actually created an urban renewal plan called the Downtown Northwest Urban Renewal Plan. I think it was the late 90s. Well, you can see that not a lot happened in terms of implementation. So this plan that we are talking about collaborating on is not another plan to be another plan. It is about really creating the action strategies that are going to drive growth and drive implementation, because both of our organizations, I know, are committed to impact and implementation, not just doing a lot of planning and saying, hey, we've done a good thing. We want to see the impact of those plans. And so this RFP that we're releasing is about finding those partners that can help us build those strategies where everyone who is already a stakeholder in both of these districts ultimately get to grow with the plan. So you could say this partnership is, we're kind of doing something innovative in and of itself. Talking about this kind of partnership is a kind of new and different way for us to do things in Birmingham sometimes. And so we are looking forward to breaking down a lot of district isolating lines, but seeing how everyone really grows together. So I appreciate the opportunity to really partner with Urban Impact as two distinct organizations joining hands and growing our stakeholders' interests, growing our areas together. So look forward to finding someone who will be a partner with us through this RFP process that will inhabit those values that we are articulating and will give us the tools to really grow, and then show others. If you want to be a part of this Downtown Northwest Quadrant, if you want to be a part of Birmingham's growth, this is how you can plug into it and be a part. So thank you very much.
So the other part of me is, I told you that, I'm a churchgoer, deacon at 16th Street Baptist Church. One of the things that I don't do is I try not to talk all day, but I love to talk. So we're going to make sure that we get you out of here on time. I don't know about you, but this is exciting to me. And I guess you have to actually sit in my office and see me praying and crying all at the same time, trying to figure out how we can create a better opportunity and create a place that I believe builds on the legacy that so many people fought, bled, and died for, to be just embraced as a part of the overall vision and inclusion of the city of Birmingham. So this is indeed a great day for me. So I am very excited. So I hope you will join me in my excitement. So we couldn't be here if I didn't have good board members who supported my crazy thoughts and vision. So very quickly, I'm going to invite Ms. Rochelle Gaston Malone up, and I'm going to invite Mr. Blankenship back up just to give us a few closing thoughts. But I do want to say thank you for joining us today. Thank you for believing that we did have, in fact, something to say today, and we hope that we didn't let you down. So God bless.
Gaston Malone, and I serve as the treasurer for Urban Impact. And before I give my remarks, I would like for the other board members that are present to stand so that you can see who they are. If you are already standing, if you'll come out front. And a season for every activity under the heavens. Though this is the end of the year, it's the beginning for a time for everything for the 4th Avenue District, for the Civil Rights District, and for Urban Impact. It's time for economic growth. It's time for cosmetic change. It's time for collaborative increase, which creates the impact set forth in the U2, I call it affectionately, Urban Impact Mission. There are 3 gems that I'd like to bring to you guys' attention. I call them gems because that's what they are. They're those precious stones that can withstand the hardest of times. They are the staff of Urban Impact. Carly Youngblood, Elijah Davis, Darrell Washington. On behalf of the board, I not only thank you, but I salute you for your consistency to serve. To serve and operate above and beyond the call of duty to make Urban Impact be the impact it sets out to be, especially when the effects of change and growth are at their strongest. Mr. Holloway, Executive Director Extraordinaire, I applaud you for your skillful ability to forge the organization forward, and your amazing visions. Thank you.
Good evening again. I don't have a lot left to say. I think it's all been said. But what I would say is that from the shoes that I sit in, I get with this new partnership, I get to watch it from 2 standpoints. I get to work with David on his board, and I get to work with Ivan on his board. So I kind of get the chance to see exactly what they're both visioning and thinking about. And I can tell you, Birmingham is in good hands with these 2 men in this partnership. They both have amazing visions. They have an amazing passion for what the work that they do and the vision that they have for Birmingham. But as David mentioned earlier, they are determined to see the implementation of these plans. And that's what I'm excited about. And that's the only reason I agreed to participate, on this board. I don't believe I'm participating on any board that's not going to activate the plans that they put in place. I don't like plans that are put together and they sit on the shelf. So if you're not talking to me about how you get it done, then I'm not interested in participating. So I'm challenging all of you in this room and the organization that you represent to get on board with Urban Impact around Birmingham and the city of Birmingham. And let's make this business district, as well as all the corridors, that are represented, and those that they're foreseeing work done in the future. Let's make it happen. So again, thank you all for being a part of this evening. Thank you all, Urban Impact. Thank you, Reverend Birmingham, and have a good night.